All right, the challenge question 1. So I created the code. So let's look at it. So we have to create a custom function called country string field that determines the number of fields of type string in an input feature class. So create this function in a separate script. We have my account.py that we call another script. So calling script.py, and then we will just run it. And now it says it's exit with a 0 code. And then the second one is we are giving a feature class called puzzles.shapefile. And it's in the exercise 12 folder that contains the following fields. We have a feature ID, shape, land use, and value, and we modify the puzzle text py script so that it determines the property text for each puzzle and stores these values in a list. And we should use the class created in the puzzle class.py script. The class can remain unchanged. We have to print the final list as we have FID and column and property text. And so we have import ArcPy, import puzzle class from ArcPy, and import environment. So environment workspace is our folder exercise 12, and feature class is puzzle.shapefile, cursor arcpy.da, and then dot search cursor, and feature class I've FID, landscape, and value. For row in cursor, we have a myPuzzle equals puzzle class, and then puzzle row 1 and row 2 myText puzzle assessment. And then we print 0, 1, and 1 format, and row and myText. So let's run it and see. And then FID, then with the property text. All right, let's move on to exercise 13. So exercise 13 is more about working on creating custom tools. So now we will create a script tool that will create a random selection of features from an existing feature class and saves the result as a new feature class. And then we first examine the script. And I'm going to close everything out, and we're going to open data exercise 13, random sample. And then going to open it, click OK, and now drag it here. So I'm gonna. Alright, so now we have a import ArcPy, import random from ArcPy import environment, and then we have environment over right output equals true, input feature class that I have to change everything here. So let me open my exercise 12. I need the path. I don't remember the path, and I don't want to type it. Better it just copy and paste, and it's a lot safe. Copy and then Control V, and now I've just delete this, and then Control V, delete 12. Perfect. So now I changed it into my path, and we have an input and output. Our count is 50. Describe ArcPy, describe input feature, and then I do have an in list, random list, and field name. Describe old field name, rows, ArcPy, search cursor, input feature. and rows next, while row ID, row get value, field name, and in list append, rows next, while random list, outcome, self item, and random choice in list, random list append self item, and in list remove self item, and then length string random list, and I'll have field name and put stuff here, square length p ArcGIS feature class layer management input selection, and then we have things down here. So now we notice that the names of the input and output feature classes and the count of random features to be selected are hard-coded into the script. So a few points to note about the script. So the first one, the script creates a new empty list in list. So in list is right here, and it is populated with the old feature ID. So with the old feature, old ID, object ID, with the object ID, not old, object ID value of all the features in the input feature class. And then the script creates a new empty list that random list. So random list is right here, and this is populated with 50 objects ID values randomly selected from in list. In list is right here. The output feature class is created by using the object ID feature of values in an SQL. So we have a SQL expression to select features from the input feature class. And then the SQL expression looks a bit complicated, but essentially uses the in operator to query each feature in the input feature class as to whether its object ID value is part of random list. And first, we're going to run the script to see what the output looks like. So now I'm going to save it and then run it. Okay, perfect. And exit with 0 and close it out. And I'm going to go to my ArcMap. ArcMap. And we start ArcMap, and then we will look in the Arc catalog. So we're going to drag the shapefile points from the exercise 13 folder and then the random shapefile. Click cancel, and now I have right here and Python data, and it's in 13. And now results, I do have a random. So now I will drag it to my table of contents. So, and then when we examine the contents of the two shapefile, and I have to add the random and then the points in here too. Alright, so this one I think I will change it into, nope, maybe change it into red so it will pop up nicely. Perfect. So now, we examine the contents of the two shapefiles. We will notice that the points dot shapefile contains one, let's see, 1,314 features, and the random shapefile, let's see how many do we have it here. And this one we have a 50 features created through a random selection. So now we were to run the script again, and we're going to get a different selection. So instead of running the script, I can just load it here. Load, and I'm going to Python data. Okay. Okay. Perfect. And now they are the same. So look, they're the same. Let me do this. Let me change a color. Let's just do blue. Okay, and let's do the blue one smaller. I will just do maybe 10. Click OK. There. So they're the same. And now we're going to create a script tool so that it can be run from within ArcGIS. So we can just load the script, but we could do is create a custom tool once we have the script. So create a custom tool. So script tools are located inside a toolbox. So script tools are located inside of a toolbox. So we do need a toolbox. So now we're going to create a new custom toolbox. Then within that toolbox, we're going to create a tool that makes use of the preceding script. So in result, I'm going to right click on it and then I will say new toolbox. So we call it random tools. Okay, and now this is our random tool toolbox, and we're going to right click on it and then click add a script. And then I have add script. So now in this case, right click and then I'm going to add my script, and on this add script dialog box, the first panel, enter the information. So name, we will call it random features. And then for label, random features. And I'm going to check store relative path names always run in foreground. And next. Alright, on the add script dialog box in the second panel, that I'm going to enter the following information that run script in process. So for the first one, for script file, click the browse, this is the browse button, and navigate to my exercise 13, which is the random sample.py, and then leave the box. This box show command window when executing script clear, and this checkbox typically appears shaded. And we're going to make sure this is checked. Run Python script in process, and then I can click next. So click next on the add script dialog box in the third panel right here, and we can add the script parameters. For now, we're going to leave it blank and return to it later. So everything is fine, then I'll just click finish. And now we do have a tool here, random feature. Oh, except I type W here, okay. So, and then the script tool is now created, but has no parameters yet. But this step was skipped during the initial creation of the tool. So now in the dialog window, so navigate to the random toolbox, and here we have the random feature. W script tool has been added here. So now I'm double click this tool, and when I double click this tool, this opens the dialog box of the newly created tool. So the tool does not have any parameters, so the dialog box is not very informative. And the tool can be executed, however, that is, the script can be run from the new tool dialog box. And we're going to leave the tool dialog box open. And in ArcMap table of contents, and we're going to right click the random layer and click remove. So random is right here. Going to click remove. And then in the catalog right here, so I have to right click on the random and then click delete. Yes.